Yes, once again, New York City. It's your girl, Professor Eva Marie King. This is my audio podcast. We are talking about the Furtado brothers today. Lance and Todd Furtado, Tony Furtado, also known as Pretty Tony Furtado, who represents Southside Jamaica, Queens. I was asked by, I believe, he's their cousin, Kamal Ellis, to do public relations for the Furtado brothers. This was like 2010. He called me on the phone. I was at my god sister's house on 167th Street in South Jamaica, down the street from IS8, doing some writing. And I remember her saying, hard work pays off, because the phone just rang and he called me. And I was like, okay, cool. And I had met Kamal through my homegirl from junior high school, 72 in Rochdale Village, which is now Catherine and Count Basie Junior High School. Lisa Angel Ray, who's a activist and multiple sclerosis warrior, published author, and poet, among many other things. But I had met her through him. And I was like, sure, I do media and public relations. So I just started building social media websites, and I did some photographs of them at their breakfast and barbecue, Friends for Life breakfast and barbecue. And I remembered as a little girl, about 7, 8 years old, my big cuz who lived on 111th Avenue and 147th Street in South Jamaica had walked. Her and I had walked from my childhood home on 118th Avenue and 169th Street, going to her parents' house, who were my aunt and uncle, on 111th and 147th. And we stopped at a pool party. This was in the early 70s, y'all. I was a little girl. And she showed me Lance Furtado and said he was one of the Seven Crowns. Now, for those who don't know, the Seven Crowns was a street organization. Some say gang. And I was like, oh, for some reason, I just remember his face. Sometimes you remember things, and you don't know why years later. And as I got to know Lance and Todd, and I was told, they were these, street guys and Seven Crowns and all of these other stuff. And, I was like, didn't know what to expect. But when I met them, they were so well-spoken, so articulate, such godly men. I was like, so you can't stereotype your own people. You have to just have a clean slate, and when you meet them, then you form an opinion, not because of what they used to do. So when I speak to brothers and sisters on the street, I tell them to emulate the Furtado brothers and their King of Kings Foundation, which does so much for the community. Emulate them now. What they went through and the hard life lessons that they had to learn on the streets of Southside Jamaica, and, just getting involved in things that they probably shouldn't have gotten involved in. We don't have to go through that. They already went through it. Let's learn from the good that they're doing now in the community. And I loved a photograph that I saw of Queen Mother, Alice Furtado, that Lance had taken. It was of a sketch. Someone had sketched a beautiful image of his mom, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. It was on social media. And my parents lived in a rooming house in the 50s on Pine Grove Street near Lakewood Avenue, near Liberty, in that area. And I always wondered, as a poet and a writer, I'm always imagining, wow, what if my mom knew their mom? That would really be something, right? But, of course I have no way of verifying it, but I always thought, what if my mom, back then in her 20s or 30s, knew Mrs. Furtado? That would have been really interesting, and I don't know, I just wondered about it. But we respect the Furtado brothers, and we know that they had a great mom that raised them, and I'm sure she raised a whole lot of other children that weren't hers. So we show respect. Let's not forget about our elders. And to the Furtado children and grandchildren, me talking about Queen Mother Furtado, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm paying homage to our elder. Too often our elders pass away and we don't talk about them anymore. Let's talk about them. Let's, name buildings after them. Do scholarships. Just keep them alive and teach the young people who they should aspire to be like. So, shout out to Queen Mother Alice Furtado, to the Furtado brothers, Lance, Todd, and Tony. Every time I see Todd, I always ask him to give me some inspiring words to take back to women. He always does. So, follow the Furtado brothers on social media. Look them up. Furtado brothers. Spell the name right. Feuratado. I spelled it wrong. Feurtado. Furtado. Look them up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Todd Furtado, Lance Furtado, and keep in touch with what they're doing in the community, because they are leaders in our community, and aspire to be like them now. You don't have to go through what they went through. Learn from their mistakes and go to college, be entrepreneurs, be business owners, and support the Furtado brothers and the King of Kings Foundation. Lance, Tony, and Todd, I see you. It's your girl, Professor Eva Marie King, and this is my podcast. I look forward to seeing y'all before the summer's up. Peace.